So I've got me odd socks on this week for anti-bullying week. I'm in the gym trying to keep fit, and I wanted to share some of my story about my experience of being bullied. Started at a young age. I was a fat, overweight kid, and I can say that because I'm speaking about myself. And also had a speech impediment, which I had to get lessons of how to pronounce my words, which as a young kid is, quite, you're different. So that kind of highlights you for a start, which other kids pick up on. And at the time, this rolled into constant daily abuse from nearly all my classmates. This was at little school. Spoke to the teachers, they didn't do anything. My parents supported me as much as they could then. They did what they thought was right. I even got to a point where I used to run away from school. I used to make my mum and dad breakfast in the morning, pleading with them not to, begging them not to send me to school because I knew the abuse I would get, the psychological torment of every day going to school, getting called names and not having a safe place in school, which is, kind of crazy, really, when you think about it now. The pinnacle of this was on sports day when there was one young lad in the class, Calvin, I believe his name was. He was the only person in the class that wasn't calling me names and at me all the time. And on this sports day in front of the school, teachers, the parents, he started calling me not very nice names and he was at me. So back then I hadn't done any martial arts or boxing or anything. And it was just frustration, anger that I unleashed on him in front of the whole school, which if you're watching, Calvin, sorry mate, you had to get the brunt of that. And that was the release I had. That's carried on into secondary school. I wasn't the brightest, brightest person, and I was in a class called 1M, which was kind of like for the people that were struggling. We had one teacher that taught us all the subjects. So the bullying carried on in secondary school. Then I kind of I was getting, taller, bigger, growing up. I started boxing. I thought the way to defend myself was physically build this outer shell to, portray that, don't mess with me, don't call me names. And also from all that trauma, it kind of pushed me down into the, boxing martial arts, which I'm glad it did. There's a lot of positives from this. Now I feel like I'm a protector trying to share my knowledge that I've gained over the years in information to help people stay safer and obviously protect themselves from physical and emotional abuse. And it's the emotional abuse that isn't talked about as much, and bullying is massive. People take their lives, young kids take their lives because of this, and we need to call the perpetrators out. And also we might need to support them because bullying is learnt. So normally a bully is being bullied somewhere in his life and he's repeating or she's repeating that process. So, if they need help, we need to help them as well. So, just giving you a little snapshot of some of the bullying I experienced in my younger years. It's horrible. I would say write stuff down so you do know what's going on, so you don't doubt yourself, and also reach out to people, family, friends, professional people, professional support. There's some great people you can pick a phone up, ring, talk to. They will help and guide you. There's no shame in this. Unfortunately, it's still part of life and we need to stop it. That's why we've got this anti-bullying week. People should share their stories. People, you're not alone. More people than you probably think are suffering this on a daily basis, which isn't acceptable, and we need to stop it. So hopefully you get something from there, share your story and get help, seek advice and stay strong.